Yeah.
Hi, is this live? No.
Maybe I gotta stop the crooked disco. But
Okay. How's the lighting?
I don't know. Just go.
It's very dark. Okay. Ugh. Hi. Hi, I'm Christina from Be in the World Yoga, and we are live for our free live yoga class today, and I hope that you can join us. And sorry for the delay. There was a little bit of technical difficulties just finding out that you can't really go live from your phone, which we didn't really test out, or like I couldn't do something live from my phone, and now we're finding out we're just using the computer right now. So I hope you can join us right now, and I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing kind of a cross-legged stance right now. This is a new one for me. Also, hope you guys like the Ramones. But anyway, so let me see. It says Be in the World Yoga, say something. Oh, good morning, Paul. How are you? Thank you for joining. We're going to be starting our yoga soon. I'm going to take a look at the time. Okay, we got 2 minutes still. So before, this is why YouTube people put their hand in front of the camera all the time so that it can like change the lighting, I guess. So I guess I'm going to be a little challenged with the lighting today. Especially now is like a great time to use them. They're kind of like self-massage props and stuff that you can use to help your body feel good. First of all, this is a nice little kind of foam roller that my cousin got for me one Christmas. And I like it because it's got all these bumps on it. And you can lie on it and open up the sides of your legs. I use it to open up the front of my legs if I have tight quads. And so that's one of those good ones. It's great for loosening up your muscles, especially if you have like a tight area. I usually like to stay in that tight area a little bit longer and just really breathe through it because it can be quite painful sometimes. And then I have my acupressure ball that, hi, Paul, I'm good too. That's really good to know. Sorry, got a little thing there that you're good. I hope everybody's good. I hope you're good. Stay good. So this is an acupressure ball. I like to use this for my glutes because I personally get tight areas in my glutes a lot from walking. Sometimes I'll be in the city walking around all day and my glutes will get tight, and that's just kind of where my tightness is. Everybody has like special areas that are tight. For me, it's the piriformis muscle. You can also use it like in your hamstrings, and where it's really great. It looks a little scary, but it's actually really good for loosening up your muscles. And I also like to use it in my upper back. You can use this to lean against a wall, just lean up against the wall or lie on it. I can handle a lot of pressure, so this works when I'm lying down. All right. Then we have this really cool gadget that a friend got for me because he loved it so much. He just wanted to share it with me. So thank you so much to my friend Terry. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, so but thank you so much to my friend. So what you do is you would take a nice sneaker. This isn't a sneaker. You would take a sneaker, put it on, and then take your heel to the edge of this, put your foot inside, and then just kind of let your heel come back and lean forward and just kind of let that open up the calf muscles, which I feel like hold all of the secrets, all the mysteries of why our body can feel tight or in pain. Because sometimes the tightness that we feel in our shoulders or in our spine can actually be because of what's happening on the bottom of the foot, in the calf, even of course, anywhere along the back line of the body. So that can be one of the reasons why. So this is fantastic and a godsend. So thank you so much to my buddy. Also, you can take a sneaker, put a sneaker on and put your foot up to the wall and kind of lean into it. And it is important to have a sneaker. My husband's cleaning the thing. Okay, it is important to have a sneaker on while you're putting your foot up against the wall to open up your calf muscles because it feels better and it also gives you a little bit more stretch out of it. Here's another thing that you might want. Goat yoga. My friend Judy, one of my yoga student friends, got this for me and it was so helpful because you know, this is just a great little party game that you if your kid doesn't like really is not enthusiastic about doing yoga like you are, you get one of these things and it becomes a game and it becomes fun. And so my daughter does yoga, but not really like enthusiastically. I'm the big yogi here. And so this was great. This helped us when she had to do at home gym. We did goat yoga. So that was a lot of fun. But so I would like to, one more thing. This is called, I forgot what it's called, but my cousin Candace got this for me, and along with the other thing. This is really good for loosening up tight muscles too. I like to go right inside between the spine and the shoulder blade and just kind of open up that area, get into the trapezius muscle, the rhomboids. So this is called, I want to call it like a thorough something. I forgot. But it looks like a hook. So like just say you could probably type in massage hook to like Amazon if you were looking for something like that. So those are really good because our muscles, we can start to notice some tightness after a workout. You know, there's more stuff here, but I want to get you guys started in class right now. In yoga class, the whole reason why we are here is to do some yoga. So, okay. We're going to do a nice core yoga today. So when we think of core, it's kind of the belly. It's the first thing we think of, right? Six-pack abs. Of course, that's not the most important muscle in the core. It's not, even though it looks very attractive if you're into, you know, a six-pack ab or just even a flat tummy. But it's not actually the most useful muscle of everything. So we also have our transverse abdominis, our obliques. These are actually more important muscles that we use all the time in standing up. And anything we do, it's going to start from our transverse abdominis. So one of the most important muscles here. So if you want to even like just do a little test for yourself and see what happens if you sit down and then you come to stand up, you put your hands here, you start to feel the sides of your body already activating just to get your hands up. Just to get your self up to stand. So we're going to be working all of that area, including a little bit of the glutes too, because that's also part of the core. So let's get started. I'm going to come to a nice comfortable seat. You can sit on a blanket or a folded towel. This is one of my Mexican blankets. I remember when I was a little girl, my mom went to Mexico and Cozumel, and she got these beautiful blankets. I had no idea I would be excited and longing for them as I got older, because we use these in our yoga practice because they're just kind of perfect for it. They're firm enough, so if you can, and they're actually very inexpensive. So I think they're around like $14. So if you can get one of those, it'll be really handy, or two. If you have two, it'll be really handy in your yoga practice. But let's get started. We're coming to that nice comfortable seat, sitting in a cross-legged position. You can have blocks handy, and you can have some water handy. This is my daughter's old water bottle. That's why it's very visco. Let's start to get into it. Close your eyes. Take your hands on top of your knees. And we'll take 3 cleansing breaths, inhaling through the nose and exhale out a sigh through the mouth. Let it go, my friends. Inhale. Beautiful. Letting the next breath come in on its own. So start to notice the breath at the nostrils, bringing yourself into the space that you are in right now. Becoming centered. Start to listen to the sounds around you, orienting yourself to the space that you're in. So just take a few moments here to listen. We'll take a moment to notice how we feel right now. Just recognizing it, not deep diving into it, but just really observing, how is it that I feel? Perhaps labeling it. You can take that feeling and be okay with it, whatever it is. And then let it go. Come back to the breath. Noticing the breath at the nostrils. Start to soften the legs, softening at the hip creases. And notice as you soften the legs how the low back starts to open up here. Tailbone starts to soften so that you're creating some space. In the low back. And take a nice inhale. Crown of the head reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, soften your shoulders. Soften your thighs. Now the next inhale, we will let the heart space, sorry, I just hit that sound there, that heart space lift up towards the sky and soften the low back. Gently notice the belly. So gently guiding the belly towards the back of the spine here for a moment. Start to observe your core area. So let's take our hands over our belly. You can take one hand on top of another, or just take both hands on the belly. And start to make some circles around the front part of your belly, around to the sides. Just noticing that area. Observing whatever it is, right? Even the low back. Just observing, making some circles. And think of your hands as these beautiful energies that can express love, that can generate and offer love. So use your hands to offer love to those different areas of your body, not criticizing the areas of your body, in your belly, in your core, but just sending love there. Not this kind of like idea of what it's supposed to feel like or look like, but just that it is what it is and that you love yourself, you love your belly, and you love your core and your back and your side waist, whatever it is. And we'll take one hand on top of another. Take an inhale, send that love into your belly space, and exhale out the sound of Om. Two more times, sending that love through those healing hands into your belly space. Exhale the sound of Om. Inhale. Oh. Good. So at any time throughout your practice, feel free to smile. You don't have to, but if you feel like smiling, don't stop yourself. From here, let's take our palms together to heart center, then lift the thumbs to the third eye. Take a moment if you want to dedicate your practice to something or let go of something. Go ahead and do that. Beautiful. Flutter your eyes open and take your hands on top of your knees. We're going to do bellows breath. So bellows breath is where we take a big inhale, fill out the belly space, the side body, fill it all up, and then exhale in equal timed breath, all emptying everything out. So don't worry so much about the timing. That's just an idea. We'll begin. So taking a big inhale. We're going to do 5 rounds of it. 4 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Empty everything out of the belly. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. And then let your belly just relax here. It can be quite a vigorous feeling breath. So close your eyes. Just take a moment to notice how you feel. Notice how that breath feels. Notice if you feel any sensations in your body. Beautiful. And we'll start moving. So, close my water bottle before I spill it everywhere. Let's come to tabletop position. So you can keep your blanket there if you have a blanket and put your knees on top of it. You can, whatever feels comfortable, keep your knees nice and cushiony right now. Take your hands onto the floor and check with your wrist creases that they're in line with the front of your mat or just in a nice parallel position to it. Well, not parallel, but nice in a nice line, right? Take your hands into the ground, spread through your fingers, tips of the fingers pressing into the floor. So we want to activate the hands here. Check your knees and make sure they're hips distance apart. And then start to make a nice long, flat spine here. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. So we're taking some of the curves out of the back just for a moment here. You can have your toes tucked or pointed, whichever feels comfortable. I like to tuck my toes. And then pressing your hands into the ground. Feel the energy that the arms are producing here by pressing the hands into the ground. And feel the thighs start to engage here. Feel your belly start to engage here. So you're kind of lighting a little fire here in your body. You're igniting your body, igniting your core, getting ready to do something, right? Take a nice inhale. And exhale, we're going to take the tailbone down towards the floor, round the spine, and let the head drop. You can look between the legs, or you can look at your belly button, whichever one. Inhale, draw your shoulders back and peel your heart open. So this is cat-cow. We'll take a few more rounds. Exhale. Inhale, peel your heart open. Exhale, round. Pressing your hands into the floor. Inhale. Beautiful. One more time. Exhale. Inhale to flat back. Beautiful. So I want you to take a notice for a second here. I was watching one of my favorite yoga teachers, Rodney. You talk about the relationship between the pubic bone and the tailbone. Are you going to come do yoga with me? Okay. So come just for a second. Okay. So as far as the relationship between the tailbone and the pubic bone is concerned, when the pubic bone goes back, the tailbone goes up. When the tailbone goes forward, the pubic bone goes forward. So we want to kind of when we're coming into a nice neutral, find the relationship or the conversation that the tailbone and the pubic bone are having with each other, so that they don't, when we come into a nice standing position, they don't just send back in one particular way, but they talk to each other about giving each other, being fair with each other. So the tailbone and the pubic bone kind of have a conversation with each other to find the center, if that makes sense. So come over here, baby. If you want, you can take a yoga mat and take it out. So let's get on to let's go back to child's pose for a second here. Actually, come this way. And you're going to press your hands into the ground. And so imagine the pubic bone reaching back towards the tailbone, and peel your heart up. Take an inhale. Exhale. Now the tailbone reaches toward the pubic bone, and you press your hands into the ground. Curl your spine. Beautiful. Pubic bone reaches back towards the tailbone on the inhale, and exhale. Beautiful. And then having that conversation with each other where they're like, we're going to be in equal balance here. The tailbone and the pubic bone come to a nice flat spine here, or allow a nice flat spine here as they come to middle. Beautiful. Take a nice inhale. And we're going to sit back in child's pose. I knew that wouldn't last long. Child's pose. So taking your sit bones to your heels, let your head come to the ground and soften your arms. You could take your hands back behind you. Take a few breaths here. So let anything go that you feel like you need to let go of. Try to let go of too many thoughts going on in the mind as you're going throughout your practice today. And when you notice those thoughts arising, you can just tell yourself, okay, focus on the breath. Focus on the balance, just to help yourself get out of your head. Beautiful. Coming on up into tabletop position, spreading through your fingers, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. We'll shake out the head here to let go of any tension. We'll take a nice inhale and let out a sigh on the exhale. Beautiful. Starting to pedal out through the feet, bending one knee, letting the opposite heel come down. So switching nice and easy, nice and slow to your pace, to what you're feeling today. You can observe that. How fast are you feeling like going today? That's something you can learn about yourself. Do I need to slow down my energy? Making these observations. Beautiful. And we'll take the knees to the ground again. Sit back, child's pose. Take an inhale and exhale, let out a sigh. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Come into tabletop position and downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Inhale the hips up and back. Exhale, heels come down to the ground. Shake out the head. Press your hands into the ground, spreading through the fingers, spread through the toes, and send your hips up and back. Take 3 breaths here. Nice long inhale. Remember, your length of breath is going to be different than mine. So just use your own breath here. Don't worry about the timing of it. One more inhale. One more exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, look to the top of the mat and slowly take the journey to the hands in a nice forward fold here. So your hands can drag onto the floor, shake out your head here. You can soften your knees and take your belly to the top of your thighs. Grab onto the insides of your elbows. Uttanasana, standing forward fold here. And this can be your forward fold today if the hamstrings are feeling a little bit tight here. Beautiful. Let your head go. Most important thing, notice if there's a scrunching in the back of the neck. So you can feel, are there lines in the back of my neck? And if there are, I want to let my head go even more. Beautiful. If you'd like, you can stay here or start to straighten out your leg, folding forward a little bit deeper in the forward fold. And we can take a nice inhale on the exhale, let everything go, including the hands dropping to the floor. So taking a nice inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Start to balance your weight evenly on the front part of your feet and the back part of your feet. And then soften your knees Take that tailbone down towards the floor, which means the tailbone's going to start moving towards the pubic bone. Keep your chin tucked into your chest, and we're rolling up the spine here, vertebrae by vertebrae. Let your arms hang. Keep your chin tucked into the chest. And then very last thing to come up is the crown of the head. That's how you give yourself a little massage. You can do that anytime throughout the day. Give yourself a little spine massage just to feel relaxed, especially if you're feeling like you're holding tension in your body. So let's do that one more time. Take an inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. You're going to do the Uttanasana forward fold. One more time. Exhale. The rounding up part. We'll do one more time. Beautiful. Let your head go, your neck go. You can grab onto your elbows, shake out your head, shake your hips to see if you're holding on to any tension in the neck or in the head. Beautiful. Balance your weight evenly on the front part of your feet and the back part of your feet. And from here, take the tailbone down towards the floor, reaching the tailbone towards the pubic bone as you roll up the spine. Keep your chin tucked into your chest, a nice little massage just for you. The shoulders roll back, crown of the head rises up. Beautiful. We're going to warm up the body with a couple of sun salutations. Walk to the top of your mat. Your feet are hips distance apart. Spread your toes. Balance the weight evenly. We're coming into mountain. Balance the weight evenly on the front part of your feet and the heels. Lift up the inner arches of your feet, and that's going to have that nice line of energy between the center line, or in the center line of your body here. It's going to lift your spine up nice and tall. Beautiful. And feel the thighs energize, kneecaps lifting. Take an inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. And making sure there's enough space in front of you here as you forward fold. Take the arms out into a forward fold, swan diving down. Inhale to flat back. And exhale, hands to the ground. Step both feet back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take an inhale here. And exhale. Beautiful. Knees to the ground. Exhale back to child's pose. Beautiful. Inhale the arms up overhead. Tuck your toes. Send your hips up and back. Shake out your head. Take 3 breaths. You can always smile if you want. Beautiful. Start to walk your feet to the top of your mat or towards your hands. Inhale to a flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold. Soften your knees. Inhale, arms reach out and up to standing. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer down the center line for mountain pose. Inhale, arms to the sky, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Hinging at your hips, let your spine be relaxed, rounding into your legs here. Inhale to a flat back. This time the spine is extended, reaching your heart forward. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back this time to plank pose. Shoulders over the wrist, reaching through your back heels. Long spine, and lift the belly a little bit. Take an inhale. Beautiful. Exhale, knees to the ground. Bend your elbows, lower your heart down to the floor. Point your toes, getting ready for cobra. Tailbone reaches down towards the floor. Elbows hug the side body. And inhale, peel the heart up off the floor. Beautiful. Exhale, tuck your toes and send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Now here you can actually remove a blanket if you have it there. Beautiful. Take a few breaths. Pressing your hands into the floor. Energizing the top parts of your arms by turning them outward so that you're creating space between the shoulder blades. One more inhale. Exhale. Sending your hips up and back. Beautiful. Inhale, start to walk slowly to the top of your mat. Inhaling all the way into a flat back. Exhale, fold up the legs. Soften your knees, shake out your head. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Overhead, palms come together. Exhale, prayer right down through center line and stand. Beautiful. One more time, inhale. Exhale, hinging at your hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Round your body towards the legs. Inhale to flat back. Lift up your heart. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step both feet back to plank pose. Press your fingertips into the ground here and reach through your heels. Inhale. Exhale, knees to the ground. Bend the elbows and lower the heart. Point your toes and tailbone reaches down towards the pubic bone. The knees and exhale. Lift the hips up and back. Shake up the head. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. We're going to take the knees down to the ground here. Sit back in child's pose. Let the arms relax down into the sides of the body here. Take a few breaths, gathering the breath here. Nice long inhale. Nice long exhale. Beautiful. Take your hands underneath your shoulders and rise to sitting on your heels. We're going to come into boat pose, Navasana. So take the legs out in front of you. Grab the backs of your thighs. So we can do boat pose, or you can choose toe taps. So this is boat pose. If you want, you can just let one leg reach up, let the other one, so switch it up, right? So we'll take about 3 beautiful breaths here. So when you're ready, coming into boat pose, the spine is nice and long. You can have the toes pointing or the heels flexed. You can keep the hands on the thighs as your spine lifts up nice and long and your heart reaches up. Exhale. Beautiful. You're going to cross your legs, right leg over the left leg. Lean forward a little bit. Take your hands to the this for 7 breaths now. I know you can do it. Ready? Long spine. Take an inhale. Maybe the palms are facing up. Exhale. Maybe you're toe tapping. Exhale. Knees to the ground. Lower your belly onto the floor, bending the elbows. Point your toes. And from here, reach your hands back. This is going to be activating the opposite muscles that we were just using. So it helps to calm down what's happening in the belly. One more inhale. Beautiful. Exhale. Hand under the shoulders, feet come down. And this time just open. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Come on to the knees, tuck the toes. Walk yourself into downward facing dog. Shake up. Also shake out the head because it cools off the head too. Beautiful. Now, walking your feet a little bit closer together to make sure they're hips distance apart. Inhale the left leg up to the sky and press your hands into the ground. Reach your foot up and back. You can have your hips level right now. Take an inhale and exhale. Bend the left knee. Start to stack the hips on top of one another here. So you're opening up the left hip. Take a few breaths. You can gaze underneath the left armpit or gaze at the floor. Beautiful. Exhale that leg straight back behind you and down to meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg reaches up and back behind you. Take a few breaths here. See if you can keep the hips level. Notice if you're locking in the standing leg. Beautiful. Inhale that leg back to straight and exhale, but down the floor. Take 3 hips distance apart. Pressing your feet into the ground in mountain pose. Lift your toes up. Spread them, pinky toe down to the big toe. You're going to find a gaze point to stare at, which is called a drishti, a non-moving object. From here, you're going to take your left leg back behind you. I'm standing up. I'm mirroring you right now. Left leg back behind you. And then from here, grab your left ankle. You can put it into the shin or put it into the inner thigh. You need to hold on to something for balance. Or you can put the heel or the ball of the foot onto the floor. So coming into tree, start to take the left hip in towards the center line so that your left hip isn't popping out. Beautiful. And take your palms together at heart center. Gaze at one point. Start to feel the relationship between the tailbone and the pubic bone. can we have that conversation where they feel they can be fair with each other? So I'm tipping toe, I'm moving all over the place because I'm kind of distracted by what I'm trying to share with you. Woo. So pressing the standing leg big toe into the ground, take 3 more breaths. Remember, if you come out of it, just come right back into it. It's not a big deal. It's fun, it's finding the balance, it's self-discovery. What can you do to stay into the pose a little bit longer? Maybe up over the head, gaze at your non-moving object. Beautiful. And exhale, take the hands down, take the feet to the floor. So I just start to notice personally what, where I find a little bit of weakness in my feet or in my legs and everything. And that's where the wobbling is. And it's, I start to find that I'm coming onto the edge, the outer edge of my foot. I press the big toe down. Okay? So you might be the opposite. Press the edge of your foot down. So just notice where you need to give a little behind you. And when you're ready, look to the ankle, to the shin, or to the inner thigh. Beautiful. So pressing your foot into the thigh and your thigh into the foot if you have it there. Take your palms to your heart center. You need to press in through the big toe. Go ahead and do that. Use your breath. Take a nice long inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe we're inhaling the arms up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale. Float the hands down to the floor. Take the feet down to the floor and shake out the legs. Walk to the top of your mat for a mountain pose. And when you get there, softening the tailbone here and finding that middle. So it's not the hips moving forward too much or the hips moving back, just finding that middle. And from here, inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hinge up your hips, forward fold. Beautiful. Inhale to flat back and exhale, hands to the ground. Step both feet back to plank pose. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, knees to the ground, bend the elbows, lower your pinky toe if it feels like it wants to move inward. Or just kind of finding that center. So you feel kind of an external rotation in the right thigh and an internal rotation. And even the back leg, you feel, even though this back leg is turning in, you also feel it turning out a little bit here. You take one inhale, exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. And exhale, send that foot forward. Turn your back heel to 45, warrior one. Left knee over the ankle. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Beautiful. I like to say, feel one more inhale. And exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Shake out your head. Take 3 breaths. Inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky. And exhale, send that right foot again to warrior one. When you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. So, spreading through your bottom of your feet here, finding that neutral. The tailbone is slightly reaching down. The pubic bone slightly reaching forward, lifting up through the low belly, lifting up through the heart. Take another inhale. And we're going to take a little twist here. Exhale, left hand reaches forward, right hand reaches back. Beautiful. Take 2 more breaths. Little twist here. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. And exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Shake out the head. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, send it forward. Turn your back heel down. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Take a few breaths. So we're opening up the right thigh here. Left knee is moving over the ankle. One more inhale. One more exhale. And inhale, right hand reaches forward, left hand reaches back for a twist here. You can look back behind you. I just like to look to the side. Beautiful. Inhale. Arms reach up to the sky, and exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're going to take a vinyasa here. Inhale, shoulders over the wrist. Exhale, knees to the ground. Bend the elbows, lower the heart down. Point your toes. Inhale, cobra pose. Tailbone pressing into the floor. Tuck the toes. Exhale to downward facing dog. Sending your hips up and back. Pressing the hands into the front part of your mat. Reaching your heels down. Energizing your thighs and reaching them back behind you. And you can look to the front of the mat, walk, step, or hop your feet to meet the hands. So if you can step, you take maybe your right or your left foot, bring both feet together. Forward fold. Inhale, arms reach out and up overhead. Palms come together. Exhale, prayer down the center line. So now we're going to start off our next sequence with Utkatasana, which means awkward chair pose, or my favorite, air chair. I like when people say that. So from here, take your feet hips distance apart. Some of us like to do it with our feet together. It's your choice. What's good about hips distance is that they're in line with your hips. So it's your choice, whatever feels comfortable. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. And it's almost as if you're going to sit down. Exhale, send your hips down to the floor. Reach your hands up to the sky. Squeeze your thighs together. Start to pull your belly towards the back of the spine and lengthen the back of your spine here. Take a few breaths. If you'd like, start to send your sit bones down a little bit more. Maybe reaching your hands forward. That feels better. Reaching your fingers in the opposite direction. Take another inhale. And exhale, hinging at your hips, forward fold. Shake out your legs. Beautiful. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, hands onto the floor. Step your feet back behind you to plank pose. Inhale. And exhale, you can send your knees to the ground, or if you'd like, bend your elbows halfway down, chaturanga. Point your toes, press your hands into the floor for upward dog. So you can switch it to upward dog or stay in the cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog, shake out the head. Take 3 breaths here. And now we're going to do a dancing warrior. So adding on to the sequence, the standing sequence that we did before, I'm just adding a little bit of external rotation. Inhale, right leg reaches up to the sky. Exhale, pull the knee into the belly, send the right foot to the top of the mat. Turn back heel down for warrior 1. Whew, I'm getting hot right now because I had to close all my windows. Right knee over the ankle. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Beautiful. So energize that back leg. Send that left hip forward. Right hip pulls into the socket. Take 3 breaths. Beautiful. Left hand reaches forward. Right hand reaches back for a twist. Inhale. Get the heels in line with each other and open up, bend the arms, and gaze past the right fingertips. Take an inhale, lifting up through your spine. Exhale. Soften your shoulder. Turn the right palm up. Lift up and back to peaceful warrior. Reaching for your fingertips. Remember that right knee still reaches forward. Right. Don't point it up to the sky. Send it up and over past the left ear. You can start to look up to the sky here. You can use that right arm to press into your right thigh to lift you up so you're not sinking and slouching in this pose. Press into the right thigh. And circle your hands to frame the front foot and come onto the ball of the back foot. And take both feet back behind you into plank pose. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, either lower all the way down or go through chaturanga halfway. Point your toes. Inhale. Now we're still reaching that tailbone down here as we draw the shoulders back and lift up the heart here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shake out your head. Beautiful. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. And exhale, send that left foot forward to warrior one. Turn your back heel down. Inhale, rising up. Beautiful. Let me know if you're starting to get a sweat stash like me. It's gorgeous. Take a few breaths. Pretty soon all my hair is going to be sticking to my head. Beautiful. Bring yourself back to center. Exhale, hands to the hips, preparing for warrior three. Come onto the ball of the back foot. And when you're ready, hop it forward here. Lift up your right leg. Have fun in this. You can reach your hands forward or keep your hands onto your hips. Maybe bring palms to prayer at heart center. So that I'm looking at you guys, I'm going to switch, but I want you to stay left leg forward. Beautiful. Turn that back heel down. And the toes are pointing towards the edge of your mat. So you're making that nice right angle. Spread through your toes. Knee over the ankle. Inhale. Warrior two. Gazing over the left fingertips. So I hope you're starting to feel like this beautiful, amazing, fierce warrior that can just really be strong for yourself and handle things beautifully for yourself. Taking a few breaths. Open up your chest, lift up your heart. Knee over the ankle. Inhale, reach forward. Turn your left palm up. A little side stretch here. Taking your right hand, you could slide it down by the edge of the side of your leg. And exhale, forearm comes to the thigh. Right arm in resistance with that left forearm. Reaching and extending from the edge of the back foot all the way through the right fingertips. Pose, knees to, actually step back to plank pose, but then knees to the ground. Child pose. Take your forehead to the ground. Hands back behind your mouth and underneath your shoulders. Roll all the way up to sitting on top of your heels. So I want to do a little side plank. But first, let's get into a little heart opening here. So stretching up, open the shoulder muscles here. And from here, take your hands, clasp them behind your back. Roll your shoulders back, feel your heart open. Start to draw your shoulder blades together and reach your chest through. Now start to guide your belly towards the back of the spine, tailbone reaching down towards the floor. Take a few breaths. Use at one point. This is going to help you to gain more focus. Sometimes we get distracted by the thoughts that pop up in the mind. So if we focus our eyes on one point and breathe, we're allowing ourselves to just be present and stay focused. Nobody likes to get lost in their thoughts, right? Out of control. Beautiful. Release the shoulders. Move a little bit. Okay, so from here, we're going to take our hands into tabletop position. Tuck your toes. Shake out your head here. Take a few breaths, I forgot to tell you. Downward facing dog. And take your right leg to the middle of your back, kind of where the hips are. Come on to the outside edge of your left foot and really make your left leg nice and straight. Start to flex the edge of your left foot so that it doesn't feel floppy here. So you're making it nice and strong, pressing the edge of your left foot into the ground. And from here, you want your shoulders to be a little bit behind the wrist here. From here, start to come on, rotate to your side, press your right foot into the floor, and reach your right arm up to the sky here, taking a few breaths. So this is kind of a modified side plank. Beautiful. Just preparing for the full plank that we'll do soon. Take your hands to the floor. Push your way back to downward facing dog. And we're going to do same thing other side. So I'm switching around so I don't face, you don't have to see the back of me. Take your left foot to the center of your body here. Come onto the outside edge of your right foot. You're pressing your hand into the ground and drawing the right shoulder blade onto the back to find that rotation. Inhale, lift the left hand up to the sky. Take a few breaths. So I want to lift through the outside of my left hip here. Beautiful. Take your hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Walk yourself right back into your down dog. Beautiful. And from here, inhale, exhale. So this time you're going to either keep that right foot coming forward and then continue to practice what we were doing, or come onto the outside edge of the left foot and stack the right foot, flexing the right foot on top of the left foot here. And from here, our legs are stacked, right hips reaching up. Draw that left shoulder blade onto the back to find that heart opening. Look up to the sky. Flex your feet nice and strong. Take a few breaths. You may wobble. That's just that beautiful energy in your body. We call that prana in yoga. Take another inhale. Exhale, hands to the ground. Press your hands into the floor to lift up and back to downward dog. Shake out your head. And we're going to walk our feet to meet our hands in a forward fold. Beautiful. And walk back into downward facing dog again. This time doing it on the outer edge of the right foot for a plank pose here. So coming into plank pose, maybe you'll take your left foot to the center of your mat. Come onto the outside edge of the right foot. Flex those feet as if you're pressing against a wall or something. And then start to draw that right shoulder onto the back, reaching up through the fingertips here. Take a few breaths. Smile. Somebody said, I hate when yoga teachers tell me to smile. Just do what you want. Exhale, hands to the floor. Send your hips up and back. Shake your head. Take an inhale. Exhale, knees to the ground. Sit back onto your heels. Take your hands back behind you. And take a few breaths. Beautiful. Rolling on up. Okay. We're going to do just a couple more standing poses and then come down onto the floor. So if you have blocks or maybe a chair or maybe a couch, something to lean on, you can use them right now for pyramid pose. But first we're going to come, I just want you to have them ready. First we'll come into a nice lunge twist. Take your hands into the floor, send your hips up and back, shake out your head. Inhale your right leg up to the sky and send it forward between your hands to the right thumb. Come onto the ball of your back foot, so lifting the heel up off the ground. Walk your hands onto your right thigh. Beautiful. Take hands to heart center. Tailbone reaches down to the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale. And we're going to twist. We're going to take our left elbow, place it on the outside of our right thigh. So we're twisting towards the front bent leg. So taking the left elbow on top of the thigh, reaching through your back heel, press palms into one another. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. And from here, straighten out through you can actually take your hands to the blocks right now. Straighten out through your front leg. And I'll show you what the blocks look like. Beautiful. Let's rise up here for a moment. Take your hands to your hips. The left toe are pointing towards the left corner of your mat. Straighten through your front leg. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Beautiful. Now you can stay here. Plop your hands onto the blocks, or maybe you have a couch or chair to put your hands onto. Anything? Beautiful. Take an inhale. Lengthen your spine. Feel your pubic bone reaching towards your tailbone here. as you hinge forward. That's where we get our fold here. It's not in the rounding of the low back, it's the lengthening of the spine. Folding over that front leg. Take an inhale and then exhale, allowing your body to melt as much as it wants to over the front leg. Take a few breaths here. This is gonna be very yummy, for lack of a better word, on the IT band, the side of the leg here, and also quite often the hamstrings, back of the thigh here. Letting your head go, take some breaths. I'm going to be quiet here so that you can focus on your breath. Beautiful. Bend through the right knee slightly just to soften. You can grab onto the blocks and rise all the way up to standing. Beautiful. Take the hands to the floor and step back to downward facing dog. Shake out your head. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. And exhale, send that foot forward. Come onto the ball of your back foot. Pin that back foot down to the ground. Press through your front foot. Inhale to rise on up. Palms together at heart center. This is lunge. Gazing forwards, high lunge. Take that right elbow to the outside of the left thigh. I'm sorry, the left thigh. That would be a totally different pose. Take palms together, press them into one another. Create that twist, reaching through the back heel. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. And take your hands to the blocks or to the floor. Start to straighten out through the front leg. You can bring that front leg in a little bit. Take your back heel down. Hands to the floor or to blocks. And again, start to take your tailbone, your pubic bone up towards the tailbone to find that hinge in the front hip here. Inhale and exhale. Soften over the front leg. Take a few breaths. So that if what I'm doing seems pretty deep in the forward fold for you, it's not because I'm trying to say, look at how far I can stretch. I'm not trying to be boastful or anything. What I am trying to show you is where practice will lead you to, which is to kind of a deeper fold, granted that the body allows it, right? So we have to always listen to our body. And I may be more of a flexible person, where others are more in the strength department too. So we all have something that we're stronger in, whether it's flexibility or strength. Just being with that and being okay with that is fine. Taking a few breaths. Beautiful. Soften through your front leg rib onto your blocks. Take both knees down to the floor and come back into a child's pose again. Head comes down to the ground. Shoulders melting open. Take a few breaths. Hands underneath the shoulders. Roll on up the spine. Take your feet out in front of you. Take all your props out to the side. Except if you have a belt, you can use a belt to wrap around the front of your feet. Flexing through your feet for Paschimottanasana. First, we'll start in Dandasana, which is staff pose. Press your hands into the ground. Take an inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Reach the hands forward for your feet here. Now, again, tailbone reaching back, pubic bone reaching back towards the tailbone and tailbone reaching back behind you for that hinge. And if you're here, if you're up high, stay with it. Just close your eyes and take some breaths. If you're folded a little bit deeper, you can go ahead and just be where you are. Taking some breaths. Taking that pubic bone back towards the tailbone, hinging at your hips. And then when you're ready, you can start to let the head go. And take a few breaths. You want to have the feet nice and flexed. Engage the tops of your thighs to shut off the hamstrings. Beautiful. Walk your hands back to center. Take your feet together. Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, hinging at the hips. Same thing, pubic bone reaching towards the tailbone. You can take your elbows to the front of your shins here. Lengthen your heart forward. And then when you're ready, exhale, fold. You're gonna take 5 breaths here. Rolling up your spine. Beautiful. From here, we'll come onto the back for bridge pose. Roll onto your back. Your knees are bent, feet to the floor. Take your hands to the sides of your body. Press your feet into the ground and lift the hips off the floor. Clasp your hands underneath your body. Start to draw one shoulder under, then the other. Engaging your thighs, like imagining that they're drawing in towards one another here. Lifting your hips, keep your tailbone nice and long. Pubic bone is lifting. So that tailbone can be nice and long, saving some space in the low back. Beautiful. Lower your spine down to the floor. Take your knees in, feet to the edges of the mat, and windshield wiper out your knees. And we'll take that again. If you'd like to make your way into wheel pose or practice wheel pose, you can go ahead and do that. Bridge pose is pressing the feet into the ground, clasping the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing the palms into the ground. Feel your heels reaching towards your back body. So either staying here, or if you would like, starting from your hips on the ground, take your hands, pointing your fingers towards your shoulders, almost under your shoulders, wherever it feels comfortable. Beautiful. Doesn't have to be under, right? Depends on the flexibility of the chest and the shoulders. And from here, spread through your fingers, come to the top of your head, lifting up your hips, and then pressing your hands into the ground. Let your head go. Take a few breaths. And if you're in the bridge, you can start to come down. And we'll start to tuck our chin in if we're in wheel and lower down. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Beautiful. Extend the left leg, bend the right knee. Take the right knee across to the left side of your body, and then stretch that left leg out to the side. You can grab onto the toes if you like. Reach the right arm in the opposite direction. Flex through the left foot, flexing that foot as the right foot is actually flexed too. You can gaze up to the sky here, or gaze over your right shoulder. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. And when you're ready, you're going to soften that right knee in and take that right leg down to the floor, to the side of your left leg. Hug the left leg in and bend that left knee. Take it over towards the other side. I'm not going to do it too well because I might step on my voice box over here. Here, let's try that. Bend that knee, take it across. Flex through your right foot. Press it as if it's pressing against a wall. And then maybe you grab the left foot. Maybe you just keep the leg bent. Gazing over the left shoulder. Take a few breaths. Beautiful. Soften the knee. Take both legs back to center. Take both legs down to the ground. Turn your palms up and guide them closer to your body if they were spread out to the side. Keep a little bit of distance between your body and the arms here. Let your feet splay out to the sides, taking your feet to the edges of your mat. And first, let's scan the body here. So notice the breath, rising and falling in the belly. And check in with your feet. Ask them to soften, to relax. Your toes relax. Ankles, calves and shins relax. Knees relax. Top part of your thigh relax. Bottom part of your thighs relax. Soften at your glutes, your sit bones, sit bone muscles. Soften at the pelvis, the low belly. The belly, the middle belly here, around the belly button, the side waist. Soften the low back. Soften the top part of your belly. Your chest, your rib cage, the muscles that hold the rib cage, the internal muscles, intercostal muscles. Soften the organs in the body. Soften the spinal muscles, the shoulders, the upper back, the sides of your shoulders, the top part of your arms, the bottom part of the top part of your arms. Soften the forearms. Let them sink into the ground. Soften your hands, your fingers, your knuckles. Imagine a little drop of water dripping into the palm of your hands, just with a nice cadence, drip, drip, drip. And softening in the heart space, the lungs. Soften the throat, the back of the neck, the sides of the neck. The jaw softens, the ears soften, cheeks, nose, space between the eyebrows, forehead, and the crown of the head. Imagine a white light shining out of the top of your head. And imagine two white lights shining from the bottom of your feet. allowing the breath to rise and fall in the belly. Here is a place of calm, of peace. Here is power, strength of mind, of heart, of spirit. And starting to wiggle out through the toes and the fingers, awakening the body. And start to stretch the toes down in the opposite direction. Stretch your arms up over your head, reaching from fingertip to toe. And exhale, soften, let the arms relax onto the ground. Turn onto, with your eyes closed, the right side of your body in the fetal position. And taking one moment here. And pressing your left hand into the ground. Keep your eyes closed. Come up to a cross-legged position. Take your palms together at heart center. And you can whisper in your mind the words, I am that, which means everything that I am a part of the universe. I am a part of the people, of nature, of love, of light, of hope. Sat Nam. The light in me is honored by the light in you. Thumbs between your eyebrows. Namaste. Cool. So that's our yoga practice for today. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask or drink water. I'm finding a little seat here. And I'm down here. Thank you so much for joining me today. If anybody has any questions or want to share anything, you can go ahead and do that. I don't see any comments or anything, but if you would like to say hi, that would be nice. But you don't have to. You can go about your day. But so yeah, I hope that you all are doing well and feeling well and just trying to love yourself, keep positive as much as you can, which is something that I have to constantly tell myself too, is to keep it positive in my thoughts, because it doesn't feel good when I'm dragging myself down. So, but I had a lot of fun with that, and hopefully that practice in particular can help you go and achieve all those wonderful things that you've decided you're going to do in your spare time right now, if you have spare time. And to achieve all those things, maybe you're going to start doing a sign language class like I am, and I'm learning a couple of things. So I'm learning the alphabet, and I'm learning thank you and a bunch of other stuff. I'm hungry. I found out why they actually like use a lot of facial expressions, because actually part of signing is actually using facial expressions. This means signing, by the way. So I'm not really good at it yet, but I really always wanted to learn sign language. And so I'm just kind of really taking this opportunity to put that into my day and hopefully become really good at it. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all. Keep safe and namaste. Wait, what's going on? Oh, we're shutting off. Namaste.